Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Shows, Style, and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course, and as you can see from the title of this video, I do not know if hell has frozen over. Let me know if you see any demons out there ice skating, okay? But Beyonce and Jay Z, they have actually responded to something through their lawyers with a letter to podcaster Piers Morgan after he interviewed singer Jaguar Wright. We have a lot to get into. I'm sure you've heard of that name. So we're going to just take our time and cruise. Now, before we get into everything that has gone down, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video and please subscribe to the channel. Okay, we have gotten through the church announcements. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay. Definitely everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on Piers Morgan's soundbite is allowed. And I have repurposed his soundbite. I am just using a visual of him and the audio. I'm not even playing it directly from his YouTube channel, nor am I even directly playing the video from the Neighborhood Talk on Instagram. So I'm definitely repurposing it through fair use. Okay, so first I want to give some background on the singer Jaguar Wright. Now, if you have been a subscriber to a variety of YouTube channels over the past 4 or 5 years at least, then you may have watched at least one interview with Jaguar Wright. I have watched several. I remember first seeing her on Storm Monroe's YouTube channel. And I said, that name sounds so familiar. I remember typing in the chat. I said, is she the singer that was on Jay Z's MTV Unplugged album? And someone said, yes, that's her. I remember, and if you all ever have checked out MTV Unplugged shows, you know that it is amazing. It is when performers, they perform music of theirs with like an acoustic band, and it's an intimate environment, and it's just a wonderful show. We know that Mariah Carey has had an MTV Unplugged show. Maxwell, I've enjoyed all of the ones that I have ever watched. They've been amazing. And then I go out and you would buy the CDs, and I have Jay Z's as well. Well, Jaguar Wright sang all of the choruses on the songs that featured singers, and she did great. So her history professionally with Jay Z goes back over 20 years. Now, have I checked out some of her solo music on YouTube? Yes, I have. She's definitely a strong vocalist, very talented. There are some songs of hers here on YouTube if you wanted to hear her voice, or again, you could check out Jay Z's MTV Unplugged. She is a powerhouse vocalist for sure. When she was on Storm Monroe, this was probably back in 2020. I was like, okay, she's going to talk about the music industry. I was expecting to hear stories of being in the studio with various artists and they just start singing, classic jams, or, she's on tour performing with people. I remember being shocked when she was like outing people for alleged, sexual orientation. And she threw out some names. She talked about Clive Davis and Diddy and Christopher Williams from New Jack City. Allegedly, I'm just repeating what Jaguar has said. Now, in terms of Clive Davis, even if you've watched the Whitney Houston movie, I Want to Dance with Somebody, he in that movie, had a boyfriend. And he's written a biography of himself, and he's been clear about his orientation. So that wasn't anything that was like a huge shocker, but it still just comes off a little uncool to kind of like out people's orientation. But he did put it in a book. And obviously he was comfortable with it appearing in the Whitney Houston film. But Jaguar really pulls you in. She's an amazing storyteller. You know, she knows when to take a pause and she'll look into her webcam and it kind of makes you almost gasp like, oh my gosh. And then she also takes a pause so that with your own mind and your own imagination, you know, you are wondering about things. Now, have I Googled some stuff that she has said in interviews and I was able to find articles? Yes. Particularly one time in an interview, Jaguar said that Aaliyah, she did not want to get in that plane in the Bahamas after filming her music video, Rock the Boat. And we all know that the fine and sexy Lenny Kravitz lives in the Bahamas. Well, she said that he has his own plane and that he said, oh, Aaliyah can totally take my plane back home to the States. It's totally fine. But she did not get on that plane. Allegedly, the director of the music video did. And I was able to Google and find an article that did support those claims allegedly. So some things you can verify, but she can definitely pull you in. She's done several interviews. We all know that Tasha K, you know, tried to definitely paint her as being untruthful, telling untruths, in my opinion. We've seen the interview where Tasha K was debunking things that Jaguar was saying. And some people felt like she was calling out someone who may struggle with things mentally. And some of her subscribers, they were mad at Tasha K for a short while. And we know that Tasha K also interviewed some of Jaguar Wright's family members, including an ex-husband, her son, and her former mother-in-law. I remember watching that interview a few years ago. I believe it was like a couple of parts. I'm sure you can check it out still on her YouTube channel. And also, Jaguar, in my opinion, I would say that she has created almost like a YouTube soap opera space. If you follow, you know, amazing content creators such as Sean Davy Way, he would chronicle things that were happening between Jaguar and her then husband Goomba. And, you know, it was like, it was giving a hood soap opera, your hood soaps. You could definitely check it out. So that is Jaguar in a nutshell. But I've always thought like I could interview her, but I just wouldn't want to open up the can of worms to what that would lead to, what that could actually mean in terms of, you know, celebrities possibly seeing the interview and responding, and my channel being held liable because, you know, I pretty much gave her the microphone to say whatever she said that they would not have liked. Which leads me to her interview with Piers Morgan. So she interviewed with Piers Morgan a few days ago, and he has his YouTube channel, Uncensored. And basically, he does pre-recorded videos like myself, and he interviews people. He's been covering the Diddy cases at length. And she talked about not only how she speaks with alleged victims of Diddy, and she called him dangerous. I'm just repeating what Jaguar has said. And she also talked about Beyonce and Jay Z, allegedly. And, you know, just any involvement or any behavior that she doesn't approve of, you know, in the music industry. I definitely want to be careful myself. So Piers Morgan, he is saying that he received a letter from Beyonce and Jay Z's lawyers. And if you were to go back and watch the video with Jaguar Wright, you can see the disconnect where the conversation jumps, and he edited out the portion that Jaguar was speaking on Beyonce and Jay Z. So then in his most recent video, he gives a statement talking about how he heard from their lawyers. And I think that this is major because we all know that Beyonce pretty much will not respond to things. She'll act like Any negative thing that someone says was never even said, and she'll just go on about her business. She will go overseas at an event. She'll have on a beautiful outfit. She'll take some pictures, post them on Instagram. A lot of times, Beyonce doesn't even caption her post. She literally does not really say much. But when it came to this interview, she did. So we're going to hear from Piers Morgan. And again, this is under fair use commentary, and I will come back with my commentary.
Burst the floodgates on salacious claims about an industry many people believe harbored a monster. Understandably, the internet's ablaze with claims about these events and whether other powerful figures were involved too. Well, last week I interviewed Jaguar Wright, a singer-songwriter who's made claims about Diddy for years. Those claims had already received a lot of attention in the media across many platforms for many years. And that's the thing about platforms. The reality of the modern world is that pretty much everyone has a platform as long as they have something to say that other people want to hear. That's why we invite her on to be interviewed. The people making these claims have an audience with or without shows like mine. Well, Jaguar Wright unexpectedly made several serious allegations about Jay Z and Beyonce during that interview. As I said in the moment, they were not present to respond or defend themselves, but now they have. Their lawyers contacted us to say that those claims were totally false and have no basis in fact, and we've therefore complied with the legal request to cut them from the original interview. Editing interviews is not something we do lightly at a show called Uncensored. But, like the proverbial cries of fire in a crowded theatre, there are legal limits on us too. We apologise to Jay Z and Beyonce.
That is major. He apologized to Beyonce and Jay Z. Now, like I've said, Jaguar has been giving these interviews where, she can nearly hypnotize you with her storytelling. The dramatic raising of her voice and lowering it back down and taking those dramatic pauses and looking into her webcam, almost like she's looking at you and telling you directly all of these stories about various celebrities. We've never seen the celebrities respond in such a serious way to where they involved their lawyers. As far as I know, Tasha K, Storm Monroe, various others, real life productions, I don't think that they've gotten letters from Beyonce and Jay Z, but a larger, wider platform, he definitely heard from the attorneys. This also, makes me concerned because for a few years now, I thought to myself, oh, they don't even pay this girl any attention. They just probably tell themselves, oh, she's just bitter over where her music career landed. She's just jealous of all the singers that she talks about because, she's talked negatively about Jill Scott, Alicia Keys. And in my opinion, Jaguar, she's really annoyed with those who fell under that neo soul genre. The Alicia Keys, the Jill Scotts, the India Iries type of music soul child. I'm not saying that she's mad at all of those singers that I mentioned, but I'm categorizing them as neo soul. And it just seems like that was the genre that she wanted to be in. And, she may not have been satisfied with where her career went. So that could be things that the Beyoncés and the Jay-Z's and the Diddy's just told themselves about her. And they don't really pay her any attention. They probably, they say, well, okay, so this guy, Storm Monroe, has like a few 100,000 subscribers. That is a large platform for sure. This girl, Tasha K, has like over 1 million subscribers. But they're not gonna send her any letters because they probably don't take her seriously, knowing that she lost the lawsuit to Cardi B. And Beyonce and Jay Z may also think she's always trying to get our attention. She even talked about our kid Blue Ivy when she was dancing in the beginning of the Renaissance tour. We're not going to give her any attention. But on Piers Morgan's platform, they decided to go ahead and speak to him through their attorneys. and he edited out what Jaguar said, issued an apology. This is huge. Now, Jaguar, she may be celebrating. She may think that this is a win, that Beyonce and Jay Z have heard what she said about them, and they even responded through their lawyers by reaching out to Piers Morgan. But I would say now a spotlight is definitely shined on you. Definitely be careful, especially if you are correct and on point with what you're saying about these celebrities. You know, you don't want them to try anything that could compromise your safety. So I hope that she is just selective and professional and controlled with what she says because they are definitely watching. And I think that this is very significant and is very telling that they would respond. And after she's done several interviews over the past 4 years, this is major. Now also the timing is coincidental, right? You know, Diddy is facing several different lawsuits. He is in jail right now. This could also be the major reason why they are responding, but they pretty much have ignored her for years, and now, you know, they definitely do not want to be associated with his charges. But for my generation, for me, this Diddy case is like my OJ. Like every single day when I'm on my lunch break, once I log out for work, after I walk outside, I look for updates, and there's always updates. Oh my gosh. So this was major. What do you think about Beyonce and Jay Z responding to Piers Morgan after he interviewed Jaguar Wright? And let me know in the comments if you've ever checked out a Jaguar Wright interview. There's several here on YouTube. What do you think? Do you just find it as entertainment? Do you think that there is some truth sprinkled with some falsehoods? You know, how do you read her? And I thank you all so much for checking out this video. Please hit the like button on this video as it is a free way of supporting the channel. And I hope that you all had a terrific Tuesday. In my opinion, the week is flying by. Like it's already going to be Wednesday. And when I logged out of work this evening, I'm like, oh my gosh, it's flying by. And we are going to have a wonderful Wednesday. Try not to snooze your alarm. I know that that bed feels nice and warm in the morning, but if you just get up at the right time, you won't have to rush. And then you won't have to worry about rush hour traffic because you've given yourself plenty of time. And I will talk with you all soon. Take good care. Bye.